Salah was ruled out to make it 5. So was like,
oops.
Who assisted Salah for that supposed 5th, puts his name on the team sheet.
Yep, so 5-1 it was in that first leg, round of 16 clash. We'll invite Frank Leboeuf in to talk more about what we've seen. But let me start with you, Stevie Nicol, because it was a strong team that Jurgen Klopp started for this game.
Yeah, it was a strongish side. I mean, they rode the luck. In the first half, they could have lost 3 or 4 goals. Now, the problem is that regardless of whether they had lost those goals or not, they always looked as though they had another gear. And even though they didn't change gears for the whole game, they still run out 5-1 winners. I mean, really, this was too easy. I mean, it really shouldn't be this easy at this stage of a European competition, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, you've got to perform, you've got to win the game, and you've got to beat who's in front of you. And they did it really comfortably, and they got some goals. And I guess more importantly, they got Szoboszlai and they got Salah on the field and got the blood pumping through their veins again, because there's no question, if those two in particular have no problems after the short time they were on the field, they have to start against Man City.
How much of a lift is that then?
A huge. And listen, while I'm with Stevie and Liverpool made this look far too easy than it should, a week ago I had Slavia Prague in my top 10 after they got the better of Benfica in the previous round of this competition. So Prague come into this with some pedigree, but then, and I thought the big difference between the two teams, and probably the telling difference between the two teams in the first half, because the game was all but over at half-time, was just the quality of play in the attacking third. Prague had the opportunities, but just could not finish. And then all of a sudden you see the really good side to Darwin Nunez with his 2 goals and how wonderfully he took those. So for Liverpool, job very well done. The scoreline makes it look a whole lot easier than maybe you thought of in terms of the opposition. From a Jurgen Klopp perspective, and to your question, at this point we're not quite sure what's Liverpool's strongest team because they have so many injuries. And then you see Konate limp off. Post-game, he's saying that he felt that if he had committed to that sprint, it would have gone. So it makes perfect sense. Virgil van Dijk has to come on. I'm not sure whether he was ever going to get a run out or not, because he's just so important to their fortunes that you want to start bubble wrapping some of those key players. But no issues for Van Dijk. Salah gets minutes. Szoboszlai again gets minutes and a goal. So all in all, a very good day for Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, not good though when you did see that Konate moment. Obviously, we've heard afterwards from Klopp, as mentioned, that it was precautionary, but the player himself did say, if I do another sprint, it could be bad.
Yeah, that would be a worry.
Yeah.
Football players don't stop for no apparent reason. And he obviously felt something. And with such a big game coming up, with, 3 days to recover, I'm not so sure that you'd be particularly confident in Konate starting the game, quite frankly.
And that's the thing, see, you know, Jurgen Klopp is saying, yeah, he'll be fit and available for Sunday. But if you feel like you're one sprint away from it going, 3 days is not.
No.
In my experience, enough recovery time. It's
not an ideal situation, is it, Frank, given that it's Man City next?
Yeah, it's not, and it's a real concern. And that I'm with the guys, you know, he would never have stopped sprinting if he didn't feel anything. Therefore, he has something. That's the main concern that I have about Konate getting out. Yeah, it's maybe precautionary, as Klopp said, but he has something. How long is going to take for him to get back into it? I think he will need more than 3 days before the game starts against Manchester City. And it's a big blow for Liverpool again, because Konate is huge right now. He's very important. And it's again a big blow for Liverpool. And it's very sad for Konate, because I think he wants to go there. I think he was very clever to stop sprinting. But I'm sorry, I think it's too late. I'm very pessimistic about him starting the game against City.
So who plays next to Van Dijk?
Well, it's going to have to be Joe Gomez, probably, I would expect, because he's got more experience than Kwanzaa. But that's not good news. You know, Liverpool in order to either get a result or to beat Manchester City, Liverpool have to be at the strongest defensively. And I'm sorry, but neither Gomez nor Konate are good enough yet to have Klopp thinking, that's fine, if Konate doesn't play, then I have no trouble playing one of those guys, because they don't have the experience, and Liverpool are going to need to. They're going to have to rely on everybody being at their very, very best. And I don't think Joe Gomez and Konate at their very, very best are capable of coping with somebody like Haaland.
How do you defend a player like Darwin Nunez, Frank?
It's hard right now. It's very hard, almost impossible, because he's full of confidence about his own skill, and he can try anything and it works. I have to say that before maybe answering to your question, I'm very happy, because he's been so much criticized, and many people wonder why he was signing for Liverpool, maybe not thinking that he has the level of talent that you need to play for that team. He is proving everybody's wrong, and I'm happy for him. Now I think he's not the fastest guy in the world, I think. So you have to be close to him, and you have to anticipate all runs behind. And thereafter, on the 2 goals that he scored, I mean, the second one, it's hard to score because it goes away, as Xhaka explained. But if you are a little bit closer than him, if you anticipate, you can cut off the shot. On the first one, I have to say the goalkeeper, maybe Xhaka has to say something about that. Maybe the goalkeeper is anticipating too much on the left side. But he tries, because he trusts that he can do it. But it's not something you can cope with. It's mostly the goalkeeper who has to cope with. But right now, it's hard to deal with him, because he can try whatever he wants. He feels that he can get it. And it's hard as a defender to cope with that.
You must be praying that your defenders do get it right, though, Xhaka, in those situations.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be standing for the first goal that Frank's referencing. I mean, you look at the movement he gets on the ball, and yes, players, I would complain about the movement on the ball, because these new balls just move so much more than the ones I'm used to. But he shapes to go to the goalkeeper's left, and just the ball just comes back so almost violently, and is dipping every which way. You sympathise. But that's the kind of goal you've always associated with Darwin Nunez. That kind of brute strength, just hit through the middle of it, and good luck to you in trying to keep it out. The second is the ones that I find he's more frustrating with, where he just has to slow down a little bit more, take his time, and it's a whole lot more technique to it. Incredible execution this time around, but that hasn't always been the case, and that has been the root of the criticism around Darwin Nunez.
Obviously, as mentioned, the next game is against Manchester City. That's coming up on Sunday. Mo Salah coming back there from injury. Does he start this game?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this is a game that Liverpool have to go and try and win. And if you have a fit Mo Salah, which clearly he is, and there's no ill effects after today, then you have to play him. It's an absolute no-brainer, in my opinion. He has to play. And as far as Konate, if I can go back, I think we'll see what's going through Klopp's mind if Konate starts in this game. Because we always talk about, if somebody's got an injury and you're not quite sure, we always throw in, well, if it was a cup final, then you play them and you take the chance. It depends how Klopp sees this game. If Klopp sees this game as a must-win, then he'll start Konate and take the chance, I think.
Is it a must-win?
No. I don't think it is. No, I don't think so.
Is it a must-not-lose?
I think preferably it's not lose. If you're sitting top of the league and you have a points advantage and you don't lose to the team that's chasing you, OK, Arsenal are as well, then that's a result. So, yeah, it's about getting a result.
All right. Man City are favourites going into this game. You're not on tomorrow, Frank, so let's get your prediction now for Liverpool against Man City on Sunday.
Well, if it's not maybe a must-lose for Liverpool, I think it's a must-not-lose for City, for sure. If they lose, they will be 4 points behind Liverpool, and it's going to be tricky for them. But I see a draw. I see a draw because it's hard to see and to say right now what kind of mood City is going to be. And Liverpool, with all the injuries that they have, but at the same time with all the confidence and the trust they have in their football and the luck that they have, they can get something out of it. So saying that one of the teams is going to win is hard for me. So it's why I see a draw, because first I want to see still a big race in the top of the league, and I think it's only fair to not see a loser in that game.